Okay. I went abroad all of last year. Junior year, abroad, away. Oh, bye-bye, America, bye-bye. Who's been abroad? Ooh. Who wants to go abroad? Yeah! It's wonderful. And also destroys relationships. So the person I was dating before I left preemptively stopped talking to me 3 whole months before I left the country, right? I mean, I figure it's like, why put off for tomorrow what you can do today? Yeah, you know, it's like when you're on an island in a little outhouse and like the generator goes off and you're like mid-pee and you're like, oh God, hello? Nothing. Shock? Yes. Uncomfortable? Yes. But you gotta just finish up with your business and move on. So going abroad though is also like getting married. Why? Because there are two phases. There's two phases. There's the honeymoon phase and the oh my God, what have I just done phase. So, you go to places and you're like, you get to have class in things called like Appleton Tower and you're like, oh my gosh, before you even get there you can imagine the stones and the ivy covering and the unicorn on the hill outside that's scampering and like eating apples, right? And then you get there and the accent, oh my gosh, the accent. Please turn to page 3 in your course reader. Oh God, I don't want to do that. Oh no, academics. Please turn to page 3 in your course reader. Yes, okay, I'll do anything you say. I'll do anything you say it again. Please turn to page 3. Yes. Please turn to page 3. You're going to have an exam. An exam! Oh my God, I'm so excited! Ooh. Cultural capital. But then, of course, what happens when you might actually fall in love abroad? That's also a problem, because those relationships, my friends, those are like jugs of milk, right? They've got expiration dates on them. And no matter how far you reach back into the fridge to like grab the one that's got the, it's gonna go rancid and it's gonna be sour. Right? So I was there for a good amount of time, and pun intended, I had kissed the idea of some sort of whirlwind, you know, abroad romance away. There were no Vespas, there were no people named Paolo. I was at peace with it, okay? And then, in like the last month and a half, you meet somebody who you knew all year, but like you meet them in that different way, right? There's like eye contact. You're like, oh my God, there's eye contact. But wait, humans make eye contact. Yes, humans make eye contact. Then he talks to you. And oh my God, he's talking, we're talking. Humans also talk. We need to talk to communicate. Also not so special. Then you dance and you're like, woo, 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 woo. And then he Facebook messages you, you're like, in the bag, woo. Okay. But of course, time is short, my friends, time is short. And they say love is blind, right? Love is blind. Shakespeare says, love looks not with the eyes, but with the mind, and therefore is winged Cupid painted blind. He's not blind, he also has dementia and no sense of timing whatsoever. Right? So, this little romance, which I suppose I can only describe as like a romantic Facebook tryst of conversations, happened. It was a lot of talk. We talked the talk, we didn't really walk the walk. We talked the talk, all the way till my last night in Edinburgh. We were like, okay, see ya at Club Bongo. Bongo Club, as in hip-hop nights on Tuesday bongo, yes. Which is like a bunch of ginger kids like doing cool like hip-hop from the 90s and the 2000s, which to be honest, I was not cool enough in the 90s or 2000s to know, nor am I cool enough now to know. I mean, I'm good for like about one, move, bitch, get out the way, then I'm done. But I'm there. You're like dancing. It's actually kind of like slow music to dance. It's slower than you think. You're like, okay. I'm with my 2 really good friends, Belle and Max and Belle, okay, and we're like dancing, and you're like looking around. You're like, wait, when's he gonna come? Okay. You don't care that much, so you face a wall, because you're like, I'm more independent, I'm an independent woman. Then I gotta look around still, you're looking around. And it was an hour or so of that, and everybody had a train to catch the next day. Because they were leaving the city to go home to London, and I was leaving the country, okay? So school was over, and it's an hour, and they're ready to go, and you're like, okay, shred of dignity, I will go, no boy, and leave the club and we round the corner and we're going out, and then who should you see but him? And in my head I'm like, no. It's kind of like when a cat waddles out in front of a giant semi-truck and you're like, oh, and you're like totally fixed on the spot and it's horrible, but you have no power to stop it, and you're like, boom, boom, boom. That cat was like my heart. Cobblestones aren't so quaint now, right? Where it's splattered across the... But of course, dare I reveal that this is the way I'm feeling. So what I do is I say, look at the guy, our eyes meet, flashing the A-OK. Because that makes logical sense, right? Hey, oh, this is fine. Oh, bother. Oh, dear. Oh, 4,000 miles, an ocean, and most of the American landmass will soon separate us forever, but oh, you know, okay, yeah. And inside I'm still like, no. So my body's doing one thing, I'm like, stop. My heart is doing another thing. And I turned and I walked away. So fast forward, I'm back in America now. Customs works something like this. How long have you been away for? About 10 months. How much of your dignity did you lose? 9/10 of it. How? I was waiting for a boy in a club. Waiting? Yep. Not even like, ooh, crazy night at Oktoberfest? No, just waiting. And then I left and did some stupid hand signals. Yep, that's really pathetic. Welcome back to America, man. And so I'm home, and who should Facebook message me? Him. And I'm like, oh my God, what? How we communicate? We're communicating? Okay. I was like, iron curtain of no communication. I respect your space. It's hard. Distance is hard. And he says, do you fancy coming back to Edinburgh? And I'm like, are you tempted coming back to Edinburgh? I'm like, tempted? Yeah, of course I'm tempted. Oh my God, of course. We'll just hop right back on the plane. Okay, no. I came up with what I thought was going to be a pithy 4-line sentence. I said, I think it's 4. You'll have to count. Good God, I said 4. I don't even know if this will be 4. Here we go. I said, tempted? Of course I'm tempted. I'll just have to win the lottery first. Pesky money. And to underscore the, sweet sadness of the situation, I thought, I'm gonna put in a smiley face. A sad one, right? Harmless little colon with a parentheses. Unfortunately, this message coincided with me getting my iPhone for the first time. So I'm on there, and I'm like on the app, I'm like, okay, Facebook app, oh look, there's the smileys, and you're like, going on, oh, these are new, these are cool, they're cute, oh look, there's the sad one, oh yeah, boom, before I know what happened, I send him the giant crying face with the 2 waterfalls of tears. Boom! Oh God, oh! Ladies and gentlemen, is how you remain unforgotten. Yeah, freak them out. It's possible. Thank you, guys.